Good morning, sunshines. Welcome to Bunnyfish Crafts. I'm your host, Heather, known as Bunnyfish on internet places. Today is Tuesday, the 25th of November. I might have to sneeze again. Hi. It is not even time for me to be awake yet, but the cat was playing in the kitchen and the weird sound woke me up. Not too early. But today is the last day of school before Thanksgiving break, and I am so excited because I am so tired. Just exhausted. Just mentally, need this 5 days to reset. And I am so looking forward to it. I have a lot of goals for crafting and reading, so let's look at what I have to do still. I was going to record this at home, and then I realized I had left my journal at school, which is fine, because I mostly, during the school week, I mostly use it at school in the morning to write in. So anyway, can I cross anything off? Ooh, I did read up to page 260 on Hip Hop Is History, and that's it. I didn't really do anything on my list yesterday, which is fine. I wasn't anticipating having a lot of time to do list things yesterday, so just one more thing. But here we are, and I'm feeling really, really good about this. I'm planning on dyeing my hair today because we're going to the movies tomorrow, and my littlest wants to dress up in pink because Glinda's her favorite character, and she wants me to dress up in green, but I'm not going to dress up in green. I'm going to dress up in black, but I am going to make sure that my hair is freshly dyed and I have green lipstick on. So I do have plans to get things done today. What I did instead is I have 2 blankets that I would like to finish in December, which means I'm working on them now a little bit here and there. One is the pink granny square blanket, and the other is what would have been the third auction blanket, but I'm not doing an auction. I do have a plan of who I'd like to give it to, though, and so I need it done before the end of the 3rd week of December, both of those blankets. So this morning I wound some yarn because for the pink blanket I am pulling the yarn from a blanket to make it, but I want to work on it at the movie tomorrow. And crocheting at the movies is fairly inconspicuous, but ripping a blanket at the movies I feel would be very conspicuous. So I ripped probably half of what was left of the blanket and threw it on my ball winder, and wound it up, which was as big as my ball winder could handle. So I'm gonna work on that tomorrow. And then for the other one, it's a corner to corner, and it's scraps held together. So it's 2 worsted weight scraps held together, but I'm actually using, it's like fingering weight acrylic. So it's 4 strands held together right now. And one of them, well, actually, both of the colors I'm using right now, I was working from just one end of the ball. But now I want to work from the inside and outside because I've used up my other fingering weight acrylic scraps. So I needed to wind that up to work from the inside and outside. So I did that this morning also. I'm not normally a person who winds up yarn if I don't absolutely have to, but I feel like I absolutely had to, so I did. I also yesterday, I can show you this. I finished up the scrap of yarn that I was using, the leftover bit for the Croy sock. So I need to I'm going to attach this other scrap, same color, but this other leftover. And then, ooh, that's cool. I have 50 rounds to go on the sock. Is that right? Hold on. Yeah, only 50 rounds to go on the sock before I start no, not 50. 41. I only have 41 rounds to go before I start the toe. So that's cool. I think I can get pretty far on this today, like at school and after school. Not as far as yesterday because we had an assembly that was a very long time, like 40 minutes. So I had 40 minutes of knitting time at school yesterday, but I think I should be able to get pretty far on it. And then I don't think I moved this marker since the last time you saw it. I think I was here the last time you saw it, but I finished that many yesterday. So that is exciting. Good job, me. I'm very proud of me. Hey, sunshines. It's Tuesday night. I don't have to go back to school until Monday. Yay! I'm feeling pretty tired, so I'm probably not going to do a ton more crafting tonight, but I did today finish one row and do a whole other row on this corner to corner blanket. And most excitingly, I am now on the decrease section. So this right here started my decrease section. So I feel really, really good about finishing this blanket in the next 4 weeks. Yeah. We have 3 weeks of school. We have the rest of this week, so 3.5 weeks. Hopefully a little sooner than that. I don't really want to work on it anymore tonight. I'd rather work on something else. But if I can keep up the motivation and do a row a day at least, then I'll get there. Because once I get down to like, I don't know, probably the last 10 or 15 rows, I'm just going to be like, oh, I can finish this in an evening and just knock out that last corner. So, yeah, this is what this corner to corner is looking like. Lots of colors. The color plan for this, so it's 2 strands of worsted weight held together, and except for right here where it's a chunky, and it's one color of yarn, one strand of colorful yarn, and then one strand of black or white. So colorful doesn't mean colorful, obviously. It's just a color that's not black or white, held with black and white. So yeah, I think it's looking pretty good. There's a lot of white in here versus black. I think I'm gonna work this for a while. This is gonna be one strand. This is my like fingering weight acrylic versus a worsted weight strand. So I'm holding 2 of the white together. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to use this whole thing up before I switch to black, or if I'm just going to do a few more rows and then switch to black and then finish it out in this white. I don't know. But I'm getting there. So that feels really good. And here is a peek of what that pink yarn for the blanket looks like. So this is the part that I ripped out. This is the rest of the blanket to go. I am going to attach this right now, so I'm going to find the center of this. Maybe it's on the other side. I don't know which side. I'm going to find it. I'm going to attach it to the blanket just so that I don't have to try to attach it tomorrow morning in the movie theater, and I'm going to pack it away. Like, I'm just going to do a couple clusters on the granny rectangle and pack it away. Ta-da-ta-da! I did that. So it's officially started. I'm also going to throw in this project, which is my sister's cowl. Can I unzip it one-handed? I can. There's a bunch more minis that I added in. So we're here. Oh. Is that the last time you saw it? Was when it was there? Or did I show this to you and forget to move the marker? I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and... What's this doing in here? Do I need to cut this off? No, I'm using this now. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move that marker so it's ready. So in case I drop my hook or get tired of working on it, because I'm not going to use up all of that yarn in the movie, I have this too. So yeah, 2 projects for the movies tomorrow. But for now, I think I'm going to work on the sock and watch sorry, my family is here and they're loud. I think I'm going to watch the Battle for Rohirrim, which I haven't seen yet. I don't know if I'm going to watch the whole thing or if I'm going to shut it off in like 20 minutes and go to bed at 7 o'clock because I'm so tired. I just finished the war. Was it of the Rohirrim or for the Rohirrim? I don't remember. Lord of the Rings. It was good. I haven't actually heard anybody talk about it, but I really enjoyed it. I could see how people might not though, because it definitely echoes the movies a lot. Like there are, because I'm a nerd, right? And I've watched the movies, the Lord of the Rings trilogies, dozens of times, maybe 100 times. I don't know. And probably not 100, probably several dozen though. And there are definitely some lines that are said in the movies that are said in the Battle for the Rohirrim. Oh, excuse me. And they use the same music from like the Rohirrim song from the Lord of the Rings movies. So I could see how people might not love that. But I really liked it. I really, really liked how the movie ended. Yeah, I liked it a lot. I don't think I liked it as much as the trilogy, but it definitely has rewatch value. So it was good. I did work on some things. I worked on the sock. I finished the leg. I finished the heel flap and the heel turn. So good job, me. And I also, because I finished the heel flap and now that mini can go into my stash, I decided I would quickly work a row up on the linen stitch blanket because, you know, I need this finished in June. So whenever I feel motivated to work a row, I try to work a row. And then suggested watching came up as The Hobbit. So I kind of want to start watching The Hobbit, but it's 9 o'clock. But I don't have school tomorrow. But I'm tired, obviously. So maybe I'll start watching The Hobbit. Maybe I'll watch the whole Hobbit. Maybe I'll just watch a little bit of The Hobbit. I don't know. Hey, sunshines. It's Wednesday, the 26th, and I thought today I was supposed to be on break, but apparently not. I do have some like green going on here. I haven't washed my face yet. I did wipe off my lip gloss. I'm getting ahead of myself. My littlest and I went and saw Wicked for Good today. And it was lovely. But I was wearing green lipstick and it's still there a little bit. So it's fine. Anyway, hi. Today was so busy. This morning was so busy, I guess. We left our house at 8 so that we could go pick up my kiddo's best friend. And my kiddo drove. So we left extra early. I guess we left at like 8:15. We left extra early so that, you know, if anything happened, we would still have plenty of time to get there, which is good because at one point my kid had to do a turnaround and they got like nervous and they were like, oh, I wasn't ready for that one. And I was like, it's not a big deal. Just go up to the next turnaround and do a turnaround, because in Michigan, a lot of our major roads have, they're divided, and then in the median, there's a turnaround where you can like turn and go the other direction. So that happened, and then my kid missed turning onto a street, so we had to go up a street and turn around and do that, and like, which is totally fine. But I'm glad I planned that time in. And then we got to my kid's friend's house and picked them up, and then I was like, okay, how about I'll drive to the movie theater now? Because that was back over by our place. Their friend lives like a half hour away. So then we drove back to the movie theater, and that was fine. And my oldest and their friend went and just walked around the outdoor mall area. And my littlest and I went to the movies and we saw Wicked for Good, and it was fun. And I took the blanket and I crocheted up everything that I had wound up and then was pulling from the other blanket because there wasn't that much left. There wasn't that much time left in the movie. And we were over in a corner. My daughter has decided her favorite place to be in the movie theater is top row in the corner, because she always goes to the bathroom at least twice during the movie. So that way she doesn't have to like walk in front of a bunch of people. So, yeah, we were in the corner, so that worked out well. I did 5 rounds on the blanket at the movies, which was cool. I brought some knitting to work on in the car while my kiddo was driving. So then we drove their kid back home, and then as we were driving home, I was like, okay, I'll drive your friend home. You can hang out, and then you can drive on the way home. And then I like got a feeling, and I was like, you know what? You're not going to drive home. I have a feeling we're not going to do that today. I don't know, something about the way the traffic's going. You'll get practice time, but like driving home is not the way to do it, which was good because as we were driving home, we weren't very far from home, but we ran into a patch of a snowstorm, and my kid is very, very new to driving. Like, you get 6 hours of driver's training in segment 1, and then they've driven with me for a total of 2 hours. So 8 hours of drive time. And it was the kind of snow where my littlest was like, wow, it looks like little hail pellets. And visibility immediately dropped down to 50%. The lines on the road were obscured because it was very windy. So the snow was doing all those things. Totally fine. I'm totally fine driving like that. But other people around me were getting nervous, and I could see them getting nervous. And my kid's not a bad driver. My kid is just so new, right? And I was like, okay, I'm glad you're not driving right now. Not because I think you're not a good driver, but because it's a little scary, honestly. But then we turned. We were going east, and then we turned north, and literally 20 feet north, there was no snowstorm. So we went to the library and I dropped off some books, and then the kid and I switched spots, and I made them, they said it was okay. We went and got food, so I made them go through the drive-thru and order the drive-thru and figure out spacing for how far away the car needs to be to do the window, and handling ordering at a drive-thru, which I find very stressful. The first time I did it, it was definitely very stressful. And then we went to the post office, so my kid had to do the post office, and our post office driveway, there's like a long, narrow driveway that's just parallel parking in front of the building, and then there's another side parking lot, but it's one way, and logistically it's bleh. So I made my kid pull into there, and they did a great job. And then we came home, and then I immediately went to my boyfriend's house because because we were going to start cleaning and prepping food for tomorrow, but that didn't happen. Instead, we watched Ever After, which is one of my favoriteest movies. It's a Cinderella story. I love it so much. And he'd never seen it before. And then I came home right after that because I was tired. But anyway, it was a very, very tiring day. It was a very social day. It was a very drive-heavy day. It was a lot. But I got some happy mail. And so I want to show you my happy mail. I'll show you my knitting tomorrow. Let's look at some happy mail because it is super exciting. So the first thing I got are these beautiful stickers, these Sailor Scout stickers that this is my next year planner. Don't mind what it says down here. I have a video that I'll link up in the corner like talking about how I redated this and stuff. So I'm repurposing a planner for next year's journal. But look at my cute Sailor Moon stickers. So the artist is GDB Art, and Geneva is so sweet. She sent me 2 postcards as freebies. Aren't those beautiful? I love her art so much. So that's her Instagram handle. I am going to link her Instagram below because I just love her stuff so much. And, if you have a friend who would like postcards or stickers or things, she has a really great shop. And let's support small businesses, or, if you want stickers and postcards and things. But I'm just thinking because holiday season, and the shipping was really quick. When did I order this? Like last week, Thursday maybe? So less than a week. And I've also received some presents. So I think it was October. I was talking about not having oranges in my stash to use for my Totoro blanket, which I haven't worked on in a month, but it's fine. And one of my friends reached out and asked if any of these colors would work for that blanket. And I said, these 2, the more solid ones would work. But, if she was just getting rid of yarn, that I would take these also because they would work just beautifully in other blankets. And she was so sweet and sent them to me, and I think they're so beautiful. And then another friend, it's too much, sent me some beautiful inks, and look at this beautiful fountain pen. Look at that. It's so pretty. I'm feeling so very spoiled and thankful for community. Just thankful for community today.
including everybody who's watching right now. I am super thankful.
Good morning, sunshines. It is Thursday the 27th. It is American Thanksgiving, and it's right around 5 a.m. I woke up just a little before 4 a.m. Yeah, and I have spent the last hour doing just a tiny bit of tidying. So when I'm tidying is I've watched a couple vlogs, and whenever the YouTube ads pop up, I tidy for just the amount of time of the ads, and then I get to crochet when I'm watching the actual thing. So first I was watching Stash Down Diaries, and now I'm going to be watching Adelaide Stitch's 31 Days of Halloween stitching. It's cross stitch, so I'm going to watch that this morning. Don't know how many episodes of that I'm going to get through because I am waiting for my boyfriend to wake up and be like, hey, come over and let's make the foods, because my family's going to his house for dinner. So they'll all join us later. I'm going to go help cook and clean and stuff. But I probably have at least a couple more hours before he wakes up. I have been working on the Granny rectangle blanket. I am going to show this fully laid out today, but after the sun comes up. So you'll see it in a few hours. I'm still going to work on it before I show you, but I paid attention this morning, and it takes me a little more, maybe a lot more. I don't know. Let's say it takes 2.5 rows or 2.5 repeats pulled out of this blanket. It's a 2-row repeat to go around the rectangle once. I now have 18.5 rows left. So that means that I have less than 7 rounds to go, or about 7 rounds to go on this blanket before the pink runs out. I do still have the sparkly black yarn, so I will be able to add some of that. I don't know if I'm going to need to buy yarn for this blanket, or if maybe I have something stashed. So I'm going to have to look and see, because this blanket is a great, small human size. This is the short side. It'd be a fine small human size, but it's not a large human size. And my friend is quite tall. So yeah, that's exciting though, to get all of this used up and out of my space. Good morning, sunshines. It's the 29th of November. I am in my car because would it even be a school break if we didn't do a Starbucks run? No, it wouldn't. I know that I said that yesterday I was going to show you my blankets, but then I wasn't home during daylight hours, so I'm going to do that probably right after we get home. I don't know. The sun is still on its way up the sky, so we'll see what the lighting looks like in my room. But look, I have the shepherd's pie sock through the gusset. Very exciting. In semi-tragic news, I've misplaced the second Scrappy Croy sock. You know, the one that was most of the way down the foot. I was knitting at it at my boyfriend's house, and then I got in the car and I didn't have it, and I was like, oh, I must have left it. And then yesterday we cleaned his house because my family went to his place, so I helped clean up, and I didn't find the sock. So yeah, I don't know where it is. Hopefully it turns up in the next couple days so I can meet that goal. But I'm feeling pretty good about the other goals, because the thigh high, the first one, I'm on the heel flap. So it's good progress. All right, here comes my nugget. Can you see her? I don't know if you can. There she is. So I got to open the door for her. All right, so here's the corner to corner. As I said, I'm on the decrease portion, so I'm squaring off this corner. And man, that's still a lot. It's still a lot that needs to be filled in. So we'll get there. And then for like kind of scale, I guess, of where the pink blanket is at, it's actually bigger than I thought it was. But so like in reference to how close it is to the size of the corner to corner, it's not that much smaller right this minute. However, the corner to corner is going to somebody who's like, I don't know, right around my height. So maybe like somewhere between 5'3" and 5'6". I don't actually know. I don't stand next to people enough to know how much taller or shorter than they are than me. But the pink blanket is going to someone who's over 6 foot. So honestly, I'd like the pink blanket to be long enough to cover the top of my queen size bed. I don't know if I'll get there based on yarn, because I really don't want to buy yarn for the project. But I don't think I have pink in my stash. I will have to really, really look. And I don't know if I have that in me today. But we'll see. I do also have the rest of today and 2 more days before I have to go back to school. So maybe I will regen some spoons today. Yesterday was hectic because, again, cleaning, cooking, even though it was just for my immediate family, like, it was tiring. So I barely knit yesterday. I barely did anything. I did wash my bedding though, so yay that. So let's look at the list and see, and see where we are for the next 2 days. Okay, so I have about 20 pages left in Hip Hop is History. I might just finish that today. I'm thinking that is a distinct possibility. Just a couple times of just reading a little bit, and I'll be there. I need to check my car and see if maybe this Croy sock is in my car and I just missed it in all of the shuffle of having to move my stuff around on Wednesday, because I had it Tuesday when I was at my boyfriend's house. So I got to figure that out. I'm on the heel flap, so the end is in sight. I mean, it's not that in sight. It's a 70 stitch sock, so I have to do the heel flap, and I do mine in, I do my heel flap 40 rows, and then I have to do the heel turn, and then after the heel turn, it's 75 rounds total down to the toe. So still significant way to go, but the foot is completely stockinette, so completely mindless. Totally doable to finish this in the next 3 days. Making good progress on the pie sock because now I'm through the gusset, so just foot, toe, weave-in ends. I got this. I should be able to finish all 3 socks as long as I find the other one. Should be easy peasy. So maybe I'll go out and look at my car in a little bit. Not yet. I just got home from driving my little to go get coffee, but maybe I'll go look shortly. Hello, sunshines. How are you? I'm tired. It's 11:30 on the 29th of November. I have no business being up this late, except that I can't sleep. I'm exhausted, but I'm not tired. So, yeah. Just very stressed. I've been trying to relax. It hasn't been effective. Well, I dyed my hair today. Can you tell? I don't know if you can tell the difference, but I did dye my hair today. I also finished 3 socks today. To be fair, one of them, the knitting was done yesterday. I just need to Kitchener it closed. But Let's look at them.
So first up, I have my socks for my boyfriend. What are these? Fiber Nymph Dyeworks in the Shepherd's Pie colorway, knit on US size 0, 2.0 millimeter needles with the contrasting yarn. I don't remember the colorway, but if you order Shepherd's Pie and you request a mini to go with it, that's the one you get. I did the Mountain Tweed base because I just really wanted to knit with the Tweedy yarn. It is a very light fingering. Like, it feels, it kind of reminds me of like Vesper, how that's a lighter fingering weight than most sock yarns. So whatever. I'm not happy that this one is rolling. The cuff is rolling. I don't know why it's doing that. I assume the ribbing just didn't rib the way it was supposed to, because I'm doing that thing that I was talking about where you change between the ribbing patterns when you change color, and I just shouldn't have done that for the first like 7 rounds or whatever. So socks are for my boyfriend. I don't know if that's gonna drive him crazy or no. We'll see. We're gonna chance it. But that's the first pair. The second pair that is finished is the Scrappy Croy socks. And you know what? I just now put them together for the first time. That was a really good guess for how many rounds I needed to make them kind of even. Look at how close those are. So this is Celestial Colors. This is, I think it's something about blueberry or blue raspberry. I don't remember. This might be Gentry Gray. It might be charcoal. I don't know. They're scrappy. But they're finished, which is exciting. And now I'm going to throw this one in the bath to soak and take the blocker from that one. And the last one is the first sock of a pair. I have all of these ends yet to weave in because I started weaving them in up here and then I just stopped. And then I did not weave them in the rest of the way down. So I've actually woven in a lot this evening. I will continue to weave them in until I fall asleep. Actually, that's probably not true. I'm probably going to set this aside, start reading my book, because I have 10 pages to go in Hip Hop is History. And I need to finish it by tomorrow. I mean, 10 pages is, one reading session. But maybe I'll fall asleep before I get through them. Who knows? I did work on the second sock. I actually put in all of this work, which is more than 5 grams because I used up a whole mini today while I was working on the second Croy sock toe. So I'm going to put this away. I am not planning on working on it or focusing on it in December because I have other things that I want to work on in December, but I do plan on making another pair of Scrappy Croy socks during December. So when I get to the toes on those, I will be putting more work onto this second Croy, nope, not Croy, Haverland Minis thigh high. So the Croy socks and the Haverland Minis socks are worked on US size 1 until I get to here, and then they're worked on size 0, or the Haverland mini one is. The Croy one is just worked on 1 forever. So yeah, I've also put, I don't know, a row, 2.5 rows. Yeah, 2.5 rows on this blanket. I kind of wanted to finish the 3rd row, but I don't think I have it in me tonight because it's already past my bedtime. And I put a round on the pink blanket. Yeah, I think it's just time for bed. I don't think I need to continue working on things. So
I will see you tomorrow with a final update on, did I meet my goals? Did I not meet my goals? We'll see. We'll see. So I've only taken one nap. Does it count if I woke up at 2 a.m. last night and then went back to sleep at 6:30 a.m. and then woke up at 9:30 a.m.? Does that count as a nap? Can I count that as my second nap? I don't know. My sleep schedule is a disaster. My stress levels are super, super high. Like, ridiculous high. There's a lot going on. So, I think I'm gonna count that. I tried to nap. I tried to rest. I tried to get sleep. I'm just not very successful right now. Well, I will see you in the morning. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so I start by slipping the first stitch and then working the pattern as written. I think it's as written. I don't know. If I'm being honest, I haven't looked at this pattern in probably, please keep my hand centered, probably, when did I start this? 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 10 years ago?
Not sure.
Me either. So I work across. You're not being the best cinematographer, my love. Yep, thank you. That's better.
My hands aren't fully straight, and now we're talking in the video. Are you going to mute that part?
No, it's okay. All right, so I get to the end, and I join the strip by picking up a stitch as recommended, decreasing that out as recommended, and then I work back. Are my hands in the center?
Does this answer your question?
Mm-hmm. I actually bought DPNs to work this project on because I'm tired of messing with the cord. So soon I won't have that problem. Do I have US size 1 DPNs? Yes, but they're all in use in other blanket projects. What's going on here? Oh, maybe... I don't know. That stitch is wonky. We're going to ignore it. Sorry. Okay. So I get to the last stitch, and like we did on the other side, I'm going to slip that stitch, and then I'm going to pick up a stitch purlwise and flip it over and hop that stitch, the one that we slipped, over my picked up stitch. And then I have the panel that's joining. I have the panel that's joining the two other panels. All right, sunshines, it is bedtime on November 30th. Vlogmas has already started. Not just on my channel. One of the Australian vloggers, floss tubers, who I watch, has posted their first Vlogmas video. I'm so excited. But let's finish out this month's vlog. Ready? I did finish reading Hip Hop is History. Yay! So good job, me.
Here's the square for it. I will add it into my blanket, I don't know, sometime in December. Hopefully this coming weekend, maybe sometime during the week, but I'm not holding my breath. And this was the panel that I was on. So I finished it and I started doing the I-cord border. Very exciting. I am going to start a new panel tomorrow, although I'm a little frustrated. I told you that I ordered new needles for the blanket, some DPNs, but the DPNs are not the right size. So, yes, I ordered yarn for a blanket. We'll talk about that. I don't know if it'll be in December or maybe in January. It's for my new reading blanket. But look, I ordered... Oh, I did. I ordered US size ones, and I thought they were going to be 2.25, but they're 2.5. I did not look closely enough, and I'm so frustrated because that 1/4 of a millimeter definitely changes my gauge. So that's irritating. And I don't know what to do. Do I maybe use these? I mean, it's a great size for doing the I-cord because it gives the I-cord just a little more space. You probably won't be able to tell, but I started it out on the US size one, 2.25 over here, and these stitches were just a little too tight. But then I went up to this 2.5, and now it looks lovely. While we're here at the Peaks, I am doing an I-cord bind off stitch, and then just an I-cord where I don't attach it to anything, and then another I-cord bind off, and then just an I-cord, and then going back to the I-cord bind off. And then in the valleys, when I am joining it together, right where the valley is, I'm, instead of doing an SSK, I'm doing a SSSK. I don't know, whatever the equivalent of a knit 3 together would be. I'm doing that. So that's my plan. It's exciting. I'm not planning on focusing on the I-cord, but I am thinking that, I can get it started. I can work on it a little bit here and there, because if you've been here for a while, you know that I like the look of an I-cord bind off on blankets, but I do not like the doing of the I-cord bind off on blankets. So this blanket probably won't be done for another, I don't know, decade. No idea. Oh, it's so pretty. Every time I look at it, I'm just like, you're so pretty. But yeah, I can start on the bind off now, the I-cord, and just chip away at it a little bit as I feel like it. I am really excited though to start the new panel. I just need to figure out, maybe I'll put, excuse me, I had a giant yawn because I should be sleeping already. Maybe I will put, I have 3 strips going for my bias strip, so maybe I'll put 2 of them on, maybe I'll put them on a size 1 needle, like a cable, or maybe I'll put them on stitch holders, I don't know, and take out those DPNs for the panel. Because, do you guys want to see what I'm using? I'm so excited. So long ago, my friend Tracy made a couple magic knot balls. I believe it was for one of the All the Small Things Knit-alongs, which I haven't hosted in a while, so you know it's long. But she made 2, and she said I could keep one if I wanted to, and so I did, and I've just been holding on to it. So this is going to be the next panel in my Nor'easterly blanket, because I love the idea of having panels that represent people on my blanket, or like big chunks of yarn that were someone's leftovers all in one place. I don't know. I'm super excited to see what's in here. I don't usually use magic knots in my Nor'easterly, so I don't know how I'm gonna handle that. Am I just gonna leave the knots in here, or am I going to pull them out and weave in the yarn as I've been doing, and then just use those yarns for sewing together hexapuffs? I don't know. I can't answer that question right now. It's gonna be what it is in the moment when I get to the first knot. But I don't know when that's gonna be, but sometime in December. I'm super excited. All right, friends. I have so enjoyed hanging out with you in November, and I hope you come back for... Sorry, that was terrible. Terrible me holding this. Look at that. I look so tired. I am super excited for Vlogmas. Excuse me. Hopefully I sleep better in December. Have a great start to December. Or I hope you're having a great time whenever you see this. Bye for now.